Under Florida law, first-degree felony murder is one of our most serious criminal offenses. It's also one of the harshest in terms of sentencing. A conviction for first-degree murder is punishable by a maximum penalty of death. The minimum penalty would be a sentence of imprisonment for the rest of your life without parole. Now, the thing that makes first-degree murder what it is the premeditation aspect. And this premeditation can be formed within an instant. Many times, individuals believe that there must be some reflection and some time period, an hour, a few days, and that's not the case. Premeditation can be formed in an instant, and this is determined by the facts of each and every case. Aiming a gun to kill is an act of premeditation. The premeditation was not long at all in that circumstance. It was just an instant, but certainly enough for a prosecutor to proceed with those charges and that harsh sentence. Now, other forms of murder fall neatly into place. There's 3 that involve intentional killings and 1 that does not. We've talked about first-degree murder. Now, in second-degree murder, it's simple. It's a murder that's not premeditated. It's not planned in advance. One thing that I want to point out to you is that when analyzing first-degree murder and second-degree murder, we have another form of first-degree murder that does not involve premeditation, and this is felony murder. This is a hybrid, and it occurs when a defendant kills someone during the commission of a crime, which is considered an enumerated felony. But we'll have more on that later, because it gets pretty interesting. Moving down the line, the third offense that we have, which results in death, is called voluntary manslaughter. It is not called third-degree murder. That would be entirely incorrect. These are your heat of passion crimes. The difference between voluntary manslaughter, second-degree murder, and first-degree premeditated murder is that an intent to kill doesn't so much form as does a reaction by the defendant who is under the extreme stress of an event. Finally, involuntary manslaughter. This is the only one that is not intentional. This is an unintentional killing. Now, it may seem confusing, but in the top 3, those were intentional killings. Premeditated, obviously. In a second-degree murder, although there wasn't the forethought and planning or reflection, there was the act which was an intention to kill. In heat of passion crimes, that involves an intent to kill when the individual is under the extreme stress. But involuntary manslaughter does not. Well, how does that happen? It happens in cases like DUIs, because what we're looking at here is a negligent act, a reckless act resulting in death. The unintentional element here refers to the lack of intent to bring about a death, as opposed to an intent, whether it's premeditated, heat of passion, or spontaneous, what have you. The person that has a few drinks that gets behind the wheel of a car does not seek out to harm anyone. In fact, most of the time, they're trying to avoid suspicion. Drive carefully. This raises interesting issues as to culpability, but that's for another lecture.